Hi folks, JP here from the podcast. Just to let you all know that the podcast is sponsored by AB Entertainment, and the AB stands for Mr. Alec Beveridge. It's a DJ and entertainment business. Alex is on Facebook and Instagram, and you can hit him up through the WhatsApp for any bookings on 07845 746 092. And also folks, the podcast has taken on a new partner, and we're partnered by MCM Framing Services and Hoops Memorabilia. If you want any jerseys, or if you've got any memorabilia sitting around you want framed or anything looked after that way, contact John Mullaney, and you can get him at johnmullaney0971@gmail.com, or contact him on his mobile 07835 072 582. And here at the Unrestricted View, we hope you're all enjoying the content, and if you are, please like and subscribe. It's free to do so, and also share amongst your Celtic family as well. Hail, hail from all of us. Good evening and welcome back along to the Celtic Unrestricted View. It's myself, JP, and joining me in this fine Thursday summer's night is my good man, and he got his t-shirt off his granda, Danny McGrain. It's a good man, Mr. Ryan Clifford, and he's smiling, ladies and gents. That must mean one thing and one thing only. Liam Scales had a good game at the weekend. How are we, Ryan?
No, Adam Montgomery got a new deal, mate. I can't wait to see him play again.
Oh, yes.
No, I'm not kidding. No, fair play to Adam for getting that. Good news for Adam as well. No, I'm good, mate, like you say.
Not just Adam. Joey Dawson as well.
Joey Dawson as well, yeah. No, I'm good, mate. Obviously, nice weather. As quite decent weather for Glasgow, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it has.
Maybe not as good as what Nick is rating off, but I'll see Nick later about that, because that's... it's not nice getting rubbed in like that, and the JP jealousy is it's not a good thing to have. But no, I'm good, mate. Like you say, Celtic, big match at the weekend, mate. So it's leading up to that now. It's getting to that time where the build-up kind of starts, and you kind of look forward to the weekend's game, mate. But yeah, I'm good. I'm looking forward to the chat tonight, mate. Hope you're well as well.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I feel as if it's been a bit of a weird week, because we're normally on... It feels as if it's been an eternity from Monday to now. We're normally on before now, obviously in the week, but obviously we're on tonight. We're on tomorrow night as well, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it, mate. We're a good wee chat, a couple of wee things to get through, and then obviously we're going to do a bit of fun towards the end tonight. We're going to discuss our best ever that we've seen Celtic 11s. This will be fun. That'll be a good one. Joining us this evening, I'll come to some of the comments. Jerry Burns was first up tonight. He said, "Good evening, JP and Ryan and everyone else." And Mark McDonald comes in with a message. He says, "Time for Brendan's boys to put Gru and his minions away." That's honestly what a description that is, Mark. Superb, man. Peachy. Good evening, boys. Hail, hail. Nervous and excited at the same time. And that's just because his missus put beans in the microwave for a wee change instead of eating them cold, I think. But good evening to yourself, Plunge, as well, mate. Good evening. Chris Murray, he says, "Good evening, everyone. Hail, hail." Graham Souness joining us also. Nice to see you, Graham. what's your thoughts on the game at the weekend, mate? You voting for your old team, or are you looking for a Celtic victory this time? But good evening, boys, he says. And Sam Mack, he says, hail, hail. Don't normally get much out of Tam at all, just a wee hail, hail, and a wee Celtic crest, so that's lovely. And Nick Conley, I think this is the one you were referring to, Ryan. He says, good evening, lads, from a melting hot Mexico. I heard he's just at Chiquitos, man, with his family. He's not really in Mexico. Because he puts a sombrero on doesn't mean you're in Mexico, Nick. Behave yourself.
He's maybe thinking he's in Mexico because his soul coach, his son doesn't really come out a lot. So
aye, that's what it is.
Aye.
He's done a caravan. They've done it into a pinata. Aye. They've got a bottle of tequila, a 6-pack of Corona. They think they're in Mexico. Behave yourself. And Dan Seacroft says, hail, hail, all. And then we've got Ian McIntosh also. He says, good evening, folks, JP and Ryan. By the way, I hope you're all well. I hope you're all had a good week and looking forward to the weekend. Big Barry joining us also. He says, evening, gents, 2 more sleeps. Saturday, we need to win the battle first and later put football prevail. I don't know about Grabbattle, no. Maybe their fans will be standing outside waiting the players coming out again to start rubbing into them and having a go at them again. And I don't know what's funnier. Their fans having a go at them or watching Barisic try to backslap somebody across a fence. It's comical, right?
Obviously, we don't know what we said, so I'll stay away from that. Obviously, big backstick Borna has a wee thing to have with the fans there, so I'm actually surprised he didn't sit down after
No, I'd run to the toilet.
Well, saying that, I'm surprised his hammy didn't go because he might be playing on Saturday and his hammy might go before the game. So, but no, like he says, good to people join us again. It is a nice weather, a nice day. So, the fact people have took their time out, mate, for the sunshine to talk to me and you, it's not really big, is it? So fair play. But yeah, quite a good comment for Barry. Obviously, I know we'll chat on the game tomorrow more in depth, but he is probably right in terms of if you win the battle, in my opinion, if you win the battle midfield, then you kind of win the game. So if like McGregor or Hatate in the middle of that engine room are really on it, then for me, I think you only see one winner, JP, as much as I know they have. In my opinion, I don't want to be disrespectful, but probably the only threat, really full threat, would be Tavernier. Obviously penalties, free kicks, and going forward delivery wise. So if you've got Maeda, he'll be fully fit. He'll play. If he nullifies him, then I think you can obviously kind of stop them going forward and playing. But I think the midfield battle, mate, that is going to be the crucial part of the game. I think if you win that, then it takes you forward, and then you like to fight and go and get some goals for that.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Obviously, I don't really want to talk too much about the weekend in terms of, because we'll do that tomorrow. Tonight we're on to have a different type of chat, so I'm going to leave my theories and thought process till tomorrow, mate. I think tonight's all about Celtics. Obviously, as we know, today they have been linked with a new goalkeeper. No more so than the Motherwell goalkeeper, Liam Kelly. Now, when this got announced earlier today, I thought my phone was going to break. You know, just with the barrage of messages that were coming through and people texting me, and why is everybody in a panic? You know? What's everybody panicking for? Does anybody in their right mind think that Liam Kelly's coming in and would be Celtic's number 1 next season? What's your thoughts here, Ryan? I don't know. It's a kind of, it's one of those ones that's, you know, it's, to me, I just think the reactions, but Ryan, do you know what? See the last wee while, mate, I actually been thinking about this. I think Celtic could go and sign Neymar or Messi and the fans would be, they wouldn't be happy. You know, they would find fault with it. They would find, it's just, as I said, it's just, to me, it's madness. I don't know what your thoughts are there.
How big a bleach do I need to get before I chat to you? Is it big? What's the type of bleach am I getting here? No, I'm only kidding. No, I don't think it's... again, JP, as soon as you get a link, you kind of go, right, okay, who's this guy? And he's done well for Motherwell. He's done really well for Motherwell. And as a number two, as a backup, listen, your number two is never going to be... Celtic anyway, you're never going to have, like Real last night, you're never going to have a Lunin and a Cotter as your two goalkeepers at Celtic. That's just not going to happen, because at Celtic, you're 9 times out of 10 you'll have your number one who'll play the majority of the games. Your number two might play the odd cup game. The other games, maybe say that next year, say you win the league, right? One is Saturday, obviously the league's just about finished, but if you win the league, you're going to have 8 games at least in Europe, plus your cup games, plus your league games. So the number two might get the odd cup game. The number two might get a league game after a European game, depending on where you travelled to or how hard the game was or injury. Yeah. So the number two has got to be a relatively okay standard. And Liam Kelly is decent for Motherwell. And for number two for Celtic, well, you've got Scott Bain and Siegrist right now. Maybe similar calibre, just a bit better. So realistically, is it really a big difference for getting Kelly to Bain or Siegrist? Maybe a bit better quality. You know,
I think he's better than both of them.
And you know Scotland, he'll be fine for you. That's okay.
Yeah, no, I just think that you know, you look at him and you say to yourself, he's the best goalkeeper we've got in the league out with the 2 Glasgow sides at present.
You probably could get that. I don't know if your money, mate. You probably could, because obviously Craig Gordon...
In terms of consistency level as well,
Craig Gordon, the age he is, Craig Gordon's still a quality goalkeeper, but the age he is now, he's obviously getting down his career. He's going to...
Is he playing much? Because
obviously,
Xander Clark's played the last few years.
He's just been back, isn't he? So, Xander Clark, he's done okay for Hearts, but we've seen him for Scotland, maybe not the best. So, the boy at Aberdeen, Roos, he's not been brilliant for Aberdeen recently. They've been kind of wanting him out the door as well for making silly mistakes. So I would say in terms of maybe behind Joe Hart and Jack
Not too sure that one would be popular, Patrick. Sorry, Ryan. I'm not too sure that one. We've been there and done that, mate. I'm not too sure that you could do that road again. Hence the reason we all know Fergus McCann nowadays, mate.
I think the Liam Kelly, JP, see if he's your number two, he'll be fine in Scotland. The European level, yes, it might be a bit far-fetched, but he's not going to be signed to play in Europe. He'll be signed to recover for the number one, whoever that may be. And I'd like to
think... Would he play games though, Ryan? Would he play games? Because Celtic seem to play a lot of games just now.
Well, I do feel, because obviously if you win the league, you're going to have 8 European games. You're going to have the Scottish Cup and the League Cup, and you're going to have the league games. So you're probably going to get some type of games, yeah. Obviously, let's be fair, he isn't what we should be looking for. Let's be fair, he's not. I think we should be looking for a better calibre goalkeeper. But if it's your number two and he's just coming to cover, then listen, I'm not going to question the manager in terms of his recruitment, because I think this is where he's going to have...
How old is he?
Kelly,
how old is he as a goalkeeper?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know his age. Is it 26, 27?
Is he mid-20s?
I don't know.
I mean, that's...
I'm not sure.
Right.
Well, ideally, right, Scott Bain signed for Celtic, but for me shouldn't have happened, because I don't think he was good enough to play with Celtic. Benji Siegrist was really good for United, and I would say, see if it's a number two, JP, right? It might not be the outstanding quality that we want or we desire, or as fans that we think we should be getting, right? Is a number two, especially for Scotland, for cover for Scotland, for the SPFL or SPL, I think he's okay. And I think I wouldn't be too downhearted if he was playing against your St Mirrens or Ross County, because he's done it every week for the last how many seasons. So in terms of quality, no, it doesn't shout Celtic standard or amazing player for us, but it's a cover. If it's your number two, then yes, listen, I'm fine. If it's a free transfer, then absolutely fine. I don't see the big massive issue with it because you were number 2. If it was a number 1, then it's a total different kettle of fish. But I don't think that would happen.
Yeah.
I think again, JP, it's just rumours, it's just links. I seen one for the Sun on Twitter. Again, I don't believe him either, but they've kind of rubbished it and says it's not going for somebody else. So who knows?
Well, Stuart Kettlewell spoke today in regards to Liam Kelly, and he says that he's more or less sounded defeated, and he's in that you know, one, he never totally confirmed that Celtic were interested in him. He just said today that we would like to keep him. However, we understand that he's, you know, Kelly's in a position that he's obviously wanting to move on, potentially.
Well, see, realistically, like you're saying about number 1s and number 2s, right? You look through kind of the history of Celtic, right? You had, was it Boric and Zaluska? Zaluska was a number 2. Foster, you Foster and who was the central?
Mark Brown.
Mark Brown, right?
Zaluska as well.
Right? And then with Craig Gordon, you had Scott Bain as well. Scott Bain's been there for a while with Rodgers here. So the number 2 at Celtic has always been
Dominic Servey.
Dominic Servey. The number 2 at Celtic has always been a wee bit of a step down to number 1, but they've been okay enough to come in Scotland and play. The European level, your number 1s, unless he's injured, he's going to be playing in Europe. So the number 2 is not going to. I know what you're saying, Francis, about number 2. Right? In my opinion, if he was been signed for number 1, Francis, then I think we'd be saying totally different. Then I think you'd be thinking, wait a minute here, right? But I do not think Liam Kelly or if Sander Clark or any name like that would be coming in to be Celtic number 1 because it just wouldn't be happening. It just wouldn't, because the fans wouldn't have it, and we all know what the fans are like, especially myself, when we're signing the guys who I don't think are able enough to be the number 1 or the best centre back, whatever. So, but Liam Kelly, JP, I know maybe a long answer for a short answer, but if it's a number 2 JP and to come in and help the squad and maybe play the World Cup game or just recover for a proper, experienced, really good number 1, then I don't see any reason. It's a free transfer. He's not a gamble.
Yeah.
He's not a gamble because you've seen him play in Scotland. He's a decent, steady Eddie number 2 for Celtic, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, like I said, I was on Twitter today and I said it would be a very shrewd bit of business from Celtic. Now, what I mean by that is the shrewdness comes for he's a free agent. And in my opinion, watching him through the last couple of years as a goalkeeper, he's the best goalkeeper in the league we've got right now in terms of out with the 2 Glasgow teams. Not only is he good with his hands, and he comes for cross, but see, for such a smaller guy, he's not the tallest of goalkeepers either. But he comes for a lot of the cross balls. You see him commanding his area, and he's very, very good with the ball at his feet. Now, my understanding is, I don't know if anybody else has heard this, but my understanding is this has been handpicked from Brendan Rodgers, because Brendan Rodgers is meant to be a big fan of Liam Kelly. Now, we don't know, none of us know who the next Celtic goalkeeper is going to be, right? This is probably the first proper one that you're going to go, like, that could happen. There's a gentleman who's been on this podcast before, Scott Alcroft. He's had it on good authority, and he put this on Twitter, that Liam Kelly's replacing one of Scott Bain or Benjamin Siegrist. By the way, the both of them might leave. So we don't know that. But Ryan, me and you have had a conversation off of this, and we've both says that Celtic are probably going to look to get 2 goalkeepers, because they're probably going to move one or 2 of them on. So I don't think it's necessarily about that. But getting back to a question, Ange M commented, she said, "Good evening, Ryan and JP. Why are you so early tonight?" Just because it's a summer's night and we just had availability to do so. So we put it on the community earlier on, and we just thought we'd come on a bit earlier and annoy people, and then once we've done that, we'll just let you all get back to your evening. So 8:30 still a decent time to do whatever you're doing. James McMillan's asked, do you want an ex-Rangers player? No, sorry, do you want an ex-Rangers playing for Celtic? It doesn't bother me, James. To be fair with you, mate, that does not enter my head one iota.
I don't think he played.
Look at the amount of players that have played for Celtic and Rangers through the years. I mean, Kenny Miller is a prime example of most recent times. You've got Mark Brown, the goalkeeper, Maurice Johnston, Craig Beattie, Chris Burke. That doesn't even enter my head, man. I don't. I saw that a couple of times today, James, and for me personally,
was Greg Taylor not as younger?
I don't know, mate. I don't know if he's selling hot dogs or something. I don't know.
Was that just a rumour? It was made up. I seen. I don't know. I don't know if it's true. I don't know.
Not too sure. Not too sure, but I don't know. And there was rumours about Scott Brown and all that as well. Remember being a Rangers. See things like that, Ryan. It does not enter my head. Now, Liam Kelly could be a season ticket holder at Ibrox. See if you're talking about football, right? See if you're talking about football. When he's paid to do the job and he's paid to come in and he's paid to do that job, then it's, for me, it's a no-brainer. You know, if he's good enough to come in and represent in a professional way of doing his job, I don't look at that. I don't look at who he's played for. And let's be fair, right? He wasn't Rangers. He was on Rangers' books and he was on their bench quite a lot. But he never really played a lot of games for their first team. In fact, I don't have any direct memory of him playing for the club in the first team. So I don't know how you feel on that one, Ryan, but in terms of it, you know, James was saying there, things like that, I don't really think about things like that, mate. As long as he's going to come in and do a job for Celtic, then that's my only main concern about it all.
I think it'd be different if the guy played like 50, 60 or 100 games and he's played a game.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. And he maybe was, I don't know if he was making the marks against the club or he was been right against Celtic, etc., then doing stuff like that.
That's a fair point, by the way, from good evening, 1976, Doc. That is a fair point.
Well,
we're cheekily probably labelling people going, well, he's not really going to play, he's got to be a squad player.
Well,
we don't know that.
I said to you earlier on, it's exactly what Doc says there. I did say to you, but he's got a decision to make, Liam Kelly, or if it's anybody,
100%, mate.
If it's Sander Clark, because if it's Sander Clark, I just say a Scottish goalkeeper.
I might have known, Ryan. Hold on a wee minute, mate. I might have known one of the older dudes would have been able to go further than myself.
In terms of that, me and you, we had a conversation. I said to you earlier that before we come on that if it's Liam Kelly, Sander Clark, whoever it is, as much as Celtic, we are massive, and it might be one of our biggest moves, or if not the biggest move, signed for Celtic, right? Look at Benjamin Siegrist. Every week United stand out, getting man of the matches, getting all the media press. He was fantastic. Came to Celtic.
Not too sure what James is talking about there, Ryan. Any idea, mate?
I think he's maybe talking about the podcast outside, maybe.
Oh, right.
By
the way, we could integrate a wee double whammy for you.
A beer garden podcast.
A wee 10:30 show in the summer.
I think in terms of that, I obviously
said we'll call it Pee in the Park.
Pee in the Park.
Podcast
like Benjamin Siegrist was playing every week United, stand out. He then came to Celtic, obviously massive move, probably a wee bit of a wage rise. Chance of maybe making it as number one or whatever, just maybe it helped his career. And his career's maybe been doing a wee bit in terms of he's not playing football as much as IP, so he's not played a lot of football in the last 20 bit years. He's obviously training with Celtic, he's training with Joe Hart at Stevie Woods. He's probably still fit, he's probably still...
That was what Scott says. He's Scott Alcroft, Ryan, just as you mentioned Stevie Woods. Apparently he's very good pals with him, so...
So he's probably still got his ability, Siegrist, but if you're not continually playing, you're going to be rusty. So if Siegrist was to play the last 3-4 games of the season, he's not going to be full pelt because he's not played. He'll be fit, but he'll be rusty.
Yeah.
So you've Liam Kelly, if it's Juice, if it's Sander Clark, whoever it is, if they sign playing every week with Scotland, they've got to think of the career as well. Like, to go to Celtic, be number 2, maybe get a good wage, get all the experiences playing in Europe, travelling with the squad, playing in derby games, but I might not play, but I might be in the squad and get through the experiences, or do I want to continue playing football every week? So as much as for me, I'd be like, sign me up. But but like Doc says, we don't know as well if he's a Celtic fan. We don't know. I don't know him personally. I don't know if he's a Celtic fan. If he is, he's probably back jumped a bit to come to Celtic because he knows about the team and he knows what it's like. But I get, JP, some of these guys have got to think about their career as well. Obviously,
100%, mate.
Frightening going to Celtic or even them across the water for a massive clubs, history, the fan bases, potential European campaigns, etc. Wage rises probably as well. Sign on fees, 15 contracts. So that's brilliant. But if you're not playing, so football players want to play, JP. Nobody wants to sit the bench and go, do you know what? I'll just sit the bench and be number two. If I play, I play. Their mentalities, they want to train every day to be the best, and it should be to go and play and try and take the number one jersey. So if Liam Kelly's never said, he's going to think to himself, do you know what? I'm going to try and take this on. I'm going to try and be number one. But I think, it's just my opinion is I think I'm okay.
He might be a goalie to come in, not to get a bot of scales, by the way.
But if somebody says, would you be happy with Kelly as your number two, as cover to a main number one, then I don't see the massive, as much as I don't think the guy's amazing or he's wow, what a signing, etc. But for cover for number two, free transfer, it's not a gamble. It's not going to cost you a lot of money. So if it doesn't work out, you can either put him on loan or release him or sell him. So I'd rather sign him or somebody with about that quality for a free transfer than go and sign somebody £3 or £4 million to cover who could be nothing. So for me, JP, I think I don't think I'd have any. I wouldn't be shouting about the rooftops about him. I don't want to come or I'm not happy with it as a fan because I'm, in my opinion, I think you'd be signing as a number two. I could be wrong, but that's just what I feel. Don't you feel, mate? But that's the way I feel about it.
100%, mate. Just taking a wee pause for this just now. I think it's obviously time to just mention this while it's still fresh in my head. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, I don't know if many of you are on social media, but we have been putting out announcements. We mentioned this on Monday night. Also, the Celtic Unrestricted View have another bonus ball on the go. Now, the photo I've put up there, as you can see at the very top of that picture, now these medals are replicas, folks, okay? But the bonus ball is a £2 entry for a chance to win one of 3 prizes, okay? So the very top of that photograph there is a replica trio set, 1, 2, 3 badges of the treble winning season. The second prize is a replica medal of the Europa League 21-22 season when Celtic took on Bayer Leverkusen. I said it right this time, Ryan, and not Bayern Munich. And that was on the 30th of September 2021 at Celtic Park. And the third prize is just a wee Celtic goodie bag that we've managed to get together. All this stuff here, folks, has been kindly donated by our partner, the MCM Framing Services and Hoops Memorabilia. So we're doing a bonus ball just now, folks. It's on the running bar on your screens at present, but if it's too small and you can't see and you would like to take part, you can send your money to this PayPal account. So the Ryan Clifford 9 at AOL.co.uk. So if anybody wants to take part, please send it to that PayPal. When you do so, folks, if you can, just leave a message. Tell us who you are. The numbers are picked randomly this time, okay, because there's already numbers away. I've put up a Facebook post on our Facebook Celtic Unrestricted View page earlier on before we came on live tonight with a current update of where we're sitting. So I think there's 24. In fact, you know what I'll do? I'll count them just now. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's actually 29 balls away. So 29 numbers have been taken. But as I said, folks, when people are paying, we're just putting them in randomly for them. Okay. So if you wish to take part, guys, you can either, if you don't know how to do the PayPal, you need to contact us, guys, on social media. So you can either do it through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. Ryan and myself have access to everything. So we will get back to you pretty much right away if we can. So don't be shy. Give it a try. Get your money in. And Ryan, as I said, mate, John's kindly donated some really good prizes for us there for folk to win, mate. And it's a good opportunity for folk to get a wee bit of memorabilia.
Yeah, definitely. It's something back for the fans, JP. So it's a good wee goodie bag here as well. And the medals here, we've seen them up close and personal. It's a good wee thing for the fans to have, JP. So whether or not you're a collector, or whether or not you like putting them in your room, or you like just having them in your box somewhere with your Celtic stuff. So it's a good wee thing to have, JP. And unfortunately, I don't think I've allowed to enter myself, or I would. So
No.
I've seen people ask about the PayPal. If you haven't got PayPal, just contact us after this, and we'll give you details on how to transfer if you want a shot. Be that through the Facebook page, myself and JP's Twitter, the community page, or the TikTok. Anywhere you can get us. Just even give us a wee message, and if we can help you, then we'll do that.
If anybody's looking for Twitter, I'll take this banner away because that'll probably
Francis says he'll take 5, JP. You just put it in the comments, sir.
Right, okay. So I'll let you know when your buzz have dropped, Francis. That's fine, mate, but you'll need to use...
He said you'll transfer it to me.
Right, that's fine. So when I come off, Ryan will tell me what I'm doing, right? So I'm not doing anything while we're live because I'm just going to get distracted, all right? So...
Factor 50, if I got a really bad sunburn, I need to get some fat. JP, I might be the gammon now.
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what's
bad.
going on there.
I
don't think I look that bad either.
I'd like to call it.
This is just, by the way, Celts 88. This is my natural colour. I've still to go. I've still to go on my holiday. I've still to go on holiday. This is just my natural colour. But it'd be nice to see your colour, to see what factor you might need.
No, I've heard this podcast. It does you well. You've got a sunbed in the back, all that, big man.
Aye, Blake. We're all the boys, good boys, I know, mate. We're boy deep in here.
Gonna talk saying boys.
Aye. Is that your stupid pal, your caddy? Aye. That's what happens in here, Blake. We're boy deep, mate. Yeah, don't worry about that.
I'll be 10:30, I think we'll be boy
cheers
deep
for taking,
anyway.
Blake, cheers for taking part as well, mate. Thank you.
Yeah,
as well
cheers,
for your wee donation, buddy. I might say that there. Oh my God, the sun is in Glasgow. Aye, we've got the Daily Record and Evening Times up here in Lindsay.
Oh man, you honestly.
We used to have a news of the world, but that's went a bit defunct. That went the same way as that went the same way as the old Rangers.
I don't like you sit with a notepad. I just things to say on here sometimes, really, honestly.
No, I don't. This is the thing as well, right? People think we're scripted because people have asked us, who does your scripting? No, it's just, as I say, it's all about the money. Oh, good boys. It's toasting up here. Toasting. Oh, you live in Nottingham? Oh, dear.
Oh, dearie.
Oh, dearie me. Dearie me. I'm only kidding. I don't know what Nottingham's like. Well, I kind of do, because we've got a pal that stays down there. Can't tell you his name, though, in case he's watching.
I don't think you'll be watching. I don't think
you'll be
watching.
Sonny and Paisley. Brilliant. I wonder. Damn, Mac, I've got the heating on. That's because you're sitting in Plungy's house with Mark McGee sitting in the cupboard by eating cold beans.
Right, cheers,
Don't want to
Francis.
put the
I'll
don't want to
check
put the
man's
heating
for
on.
finish, mate. Cheers.
Just sent you. Nice one, Francis. Good man. Yeah. So if anybody else, I've left it up a wee while now. So see what's beside myself and Ryan's names here on the screen, folks. That is our Twitter handles. So if anybody at all wants to message us on there, you can do on those accounts. All right, I'm going to take them away now. Aye. So the Liam Kelly one, I think that's been well, we went for just chatting about it to then being on PLZ Soccer, Ryan. So it's kind of grew arms and legs a wee bit. But then obviously today, mate, we've saw a wee bit of news coming out of Celtic that both Adam Montgomery and Joey Dawson have signed 1-year extensions onto their contracts. The lad Montgomery, I know he got, I don't know if that's maybe a bit of loyalty for the club because he got a bad injury recently, just there when he was out and loan to Motherwell, actually. But it seems strange because until I saw that news and when you had sent it into the group chat, I was a bit, I thought he was away. I forgot all about him now. Listen, I don't mean that if Adam somehow is managing to watch us, I don't mean this disrespectfully at all. But it's been that long since we've heard his name being really mentioned round about Celtic and things happening. So, in a way, mate, if that makes sense, I thought he was away.
Yeah, I was quite, I wouldn't say, I don't want to say surprised, but it was a bit kind of, all right, okay. I know he was away on loan, he got a bad injury. I'm sure, I don't know if he's back training in the first team or he's doing, I've seen somebody mention the other day that he was back on the grass. I don't know if that's correct, but...
that's not bad then, maybe he'll do well then.
I don't know if he's back training with the first team, I don't know if he's back for his injury or not, but I think he might be a bit of loyalty towards Adam. Obviously a bad injury, maybe give him another year to maybe prove if he's good enough. But again, I think for me, I think maybe he shoots him personally. Could be elsewhere just for Adam to get game time and develop his own career, because I think at Celtic you've obviously Greg Taylor at the moment. You get Bernabeu loan, who I think Bernabeu might. Don't think he'll be in the summer. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. I think our left back will be signed.
Well, he's not going to be there, is he? Because he's away. Is he not away? I think that not an 18-month deal he signed.
I'm not sure.
At least to January anyway. Was it not? Was it like a full year's loan?
I'll need to have a look at that. But if he's back in the summer, then I'm guessing he'll be sold or put on loan, because I don't think he's played much for the team he's on loan to. That I've seen anyway. I could be wrong, but you'd imagine we'll get another left back in for competition, or somebody who's going to take over Taylor. So you're going to have two at left back. So when will Montgomery get a chance? When, again, maybe pre-season he'll get a chance to prove himself to the manager. But I think it might be just loyalty, or they might be trying to maybe get a free JP if he was to leave or that. But I think it might be a bit of loyalty because you're injured and maybe a new deal for that. But I just personally don't see him playing much for Celtic. So some of the guys like Mickey Johnson, etc., for their own careers, maybe go elsewhere, another loan move, or maybe go somewhere permanently where you can be settled, you can settle down, you can get a house, settle down with your family, and then maybe go and maybe go and be settled and play football. But again, it's obviously a new deal. The club must think something of it, JP, of them as players to keep him. So it's not down to Adam now to get yourself in the manager's thoughts and kind of maybe see where we go for pre-season. But I don't think he'll be playing for us full time. So I think we'll get somebody else in with Taylor. But listen, I've been wrong before, mate. I've been wrong again. So hopefully all's well with Adam and his injury and his rehab, and absolutely fair play to him, JP, get a new deal. Because it's as much as you might not rate somebody or you might think they might not play, etc., you've got to congratulate boys for getting contracts, because they've obviously working hard behind the scenes. They're obviously doing something
Yeah.
behind the scenes. So fair play to Montgomery for getting a deal, and I'm sure he'll be happy and his family as well. So yeah, I just hope he can progress his career, JP. Whether or not that's with Celtic longer term or not, then I just hope the guy can get back playing football and get back to that again.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. There's a face we've not seen for a while there.
Well, sure. How you doing? All right?
Thought we had been deserted, Ryan. Good to see you back. Yeah, no, I think it's only surprising for me because I've actually not. He's a player, Ryan, that I've never disliked. I've never thought that, me man, you're not good enough to play with us. Or any time he's played, I thought he's been okay. He's always looked comfortable, and there's been a couple of moments. I thought he was very good. Remember the away game we were 2-0 up right away in Betis? I thought Sammy's passing that night was unbelievable under Big Ange. And then all of a sudden, as things started, under Big Ange, it was like a steam train, so it started going faster and faster and faster. Obviously, it's a shame, mate, because I think, guys like Maeda and...
Was he not part of the home game as well? But he played
Yeah. No, I never played left. He played high because Liam Scales played at left back. I think he played higher.
Was it left full back? Well, left.
I think it was kind of left midfield. He played high, but Ange again had him coming in the pitch as well. I've never thought that he was bad at all. Again, he's just one of the young lads. I was speaking to my dad about this earlier, and I actually thought that it's strange the way football works, Ryan, because one minute he's hot topic, next minute he just disappears out the limelight. And I know he's had a couple of loan deals. I think he done very, very well. Was it Fleetwood he was at?
Sure it was, aye.
Because I'm sure him and Robertson went to Brunei, didn't they?
I think so, mate. I think you're
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think he played in the game. I know Robertson came on, remember? Because we were obviously at the Sheffield Wednesday game that day. They beat Fleetwood 1-0 and Robertson made his debut for them that day, remember? Montgomery wasn't there at that point. No. Right, he never played, sorry. But I know he done very, very well. That's a couple of our boys that's went away and done well down there, obviously, we what do you call it? Fleetwood, obviously, Bosun Lowell's down there now, and he's been a cult hero for them this season alone. But yeah, as I say, I think it's a bit of a strange one altogether. So's the other. I mean, the other one as well with the boy Dawson. He played against St Johnstone under Big Ange away from home, and he looked a big unit. He looked as if he was well in, Not the way Cameron Harper and Oakleflex came in, and they just looked like Willow Flood in a jersey. They just look like wee boys. I know you keep that. It's probably the only thing. By the way, this is nothing against Willow personally. I know there was certain games Willow did. I know there was certain games Willow. By the way, there was certain games that Willow did. He's not one of the famous Celtic players, but he did well in certain games for Celtic when he played. Don't get me wrong, he was as hard as nails with Willow Flood, but I just use it because obviously I remember that picture when he signs and he just looks like a wee lad lost in this man's football jersey. He was tiny compared to his jersey.
That was me every week, mate.
Well, I can't say the same for me. Even when I played, man, I looked as if I'd been constantly wearing one of the Cameroonian jerseys, man. It was skin tight to me, man. I went to school swatting myself, man. People like, he's won the wet t-shirt competition. No, definitely no. But Adam Montgomery, he's one of those. He's a myth because one minute he was there, the next minute he's no. But the thing with the big boy Dawson, he's another one, Ryan. He was scoring goals galore, and then was it an ACL injury he got?
I'm sure it was a cruciate injury.
Right, okay. He's a big lad for Tottenham's nephew, isn't he? Is it Michael Dawson?
It might be.
I'm sure he's his nephew. Mm-hmm. And his other brother that played with Hill, I'm sure that's his dad.
What, Craig Dawson?
No. There was another Dawson, Michael. If anybody in the chat can help us here. The big boy, Michael Dawson, that played for
Craig
Spurs.
Dawson played with West Ham.
Craig Dawson played with West Ham and that as well, yeah. But the big lad Dawson, he had a brother that played for Hull. if anybody can help us out, I can't get access to go and look at something just now while I'm chatting with Ryan here. Well, isn't it Les Dawson plunge behaviour? So Les Dawson was a comedian, no as funny as me, right enough, but there you go. But he's done well. Les Dawson. I'm getting them all in. They'll probably all come flying in now. Wait to see this. Aye, Dawson's Creek. They'll all come in. Wait to see this. His name was something Dawson. I can't remember if it was it Matthew? No, it wasn't Matthew. Right. Anyway,
he's sure
I'll let you come in. I'm going
to.
Michael Dawson played with Spurs, but he had a brother that played for Hull.
But he played with Hull as well. Michael Dawson, did I know? I'm sure he went. Sure he went to Hull.
I think Claire's hit it there. I think it's Matt Dawson. Yeah.
All right.
That's his dad. He played for Hull.
I don't know.
He played for Hull, and that's his old man. Michael Dawson that played for Spurs is his uncle.
Right. Okay.
So I mean, he's had a family, a family. He's in the family business. But listen, I don't know what you think of the big boy Dawson as well, Ryan, because I think the big boy, I think he looks good. I thought he looked good when he certainly played. He certainly had a bit about him. He was big, he was strong, he was physical. He had a bit of pace, remember? He was really fast against St Johnstone. You were actually that day, I remember you saying that big lad looks really, really good, by the way. Because he came in right out the cold and you were like, oh man, who was it when off injured? Was it Kyogo? He'd done his hammy.
You might be right.
I think it was Kyogo done his hammy and then he brought him on. And I remember you texting me going, who the hell's this boy? And he came in and it was like, wow, welcome to the first team bigging. But I'm sure Ben Dokes, I'm sure, hello, Celts Perth, good evening, hope you're well.
Hope you're well.
Please, if you can, like and subscribe and share it amongst your Celtic family. If your family are Celtic minded, the Rangers minded, share it to them anyway. We just love annoying people as well, so we don't mind. But welcome to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Hope we don't annoy you too much, and I hope you stick with us. Yeah, it was Kyogo. Cheers, Chill. Thank you, mate. So yeah, like I say, it's. I thought he looked very good, and then all of a sudden he got that bad injury. How long will that be that he's been out, Ryan?
Well, I don't know exactly when. I don't know exactly when he was back training or back playing. But Ange, that was just 2 years ago, wasn't it? Roughly. Barkas was still playing. Barkas was a goalie when he came on. So Beaton left that year. So that was 2 years now, roughly.
Wow, what a comment, Brian. Look at this. He was born in Glasgow, moved to Australia, and he's moving back purely because of Celtic next year. Hell.
Brilliant.
Now, what he's not done there is he's not told the wife. So she's still staying in Australia, but Celts Perth managed to get himself a season book, and he's signed up for the next couple of years, so he's Oski. And, yeah. What's your thoughts there, Ryan? I think that's amazing, especially when he's not told them.
No, that's amazing. Obviously, going to Australia. I've heard quite a good things about Australia. I've got a family member that's actually moved to. I think it's not Adelaide. It's roughly. I can't remember the name. It might be Adelaide actually. I can't remember. But obviously, and he said brilliant, and the life's good, and so I think going to Australia would be amazing, mate. Obviously, if
nice one there, Lindsay.
If you can obviously afford it and be able to get a job and stuff like that. So, it's fantastic. Bro, to move to different culture and different country and kind of get used to different things over another country. So, but in terms of Joey Dawson,
I tell you what, don't move yet, and I'll swap you. I'll go to Australia and you come here.
I don't know if
I'm not swapping you. I'm staying on the podcast. I'm not swapping you.
I don't know if they want to put me for another 3 or 4 years. So, in terms of Joey Dawson, mate, when he came on against St Johnstone, he looked decent. He looked physically okay to cope with the demand. It wasn't like when we played Hibs. I'm sure it was Hibs in the COVID season. And
no, Ryan, sorry, mate. Sorry, hold on, mate. I'm not having this. What's this all about? Oh my God. Is this because I called him Graham Souness earlier?
Probably, aye.
That's poor, Francis. That's poor for you, man. You're not. By the way, you're not even getting into Celtic Park for that on Saturday, man. That's absolutely poor.
But I think with Joey Dawson, JP,
you'd have been as well leaving that blankety blank, mate. Seriously, because that's just utterly poor for you, man.
I think, Oakley Fletcher and Harper against Hibs in the COVID season, when they come on, I know the full team looked lost, but it was like they had no identity or what they were doing, or I think that's why we spoke massively about whatever happened in the first team has to happen into the B team, reserves, down to the youths. It's got to be the same pathway, because if you play the same pathway at the youth level, at least when you go to the first team, you know the formation and you know exactly what you need to go and do. For Joey Dawson, he looked physically okay against St Johnstone. He done okay. Obviously got a bad injury. Again, I think that might be down to loyalty as well, because he got a bad injury. Give him another year to see how he progresses, recover for injury, get back to full fitness, and maybe push on to potentially be on the bench the first team, then moving on, potentially playing. Who knows? We've not seen enough for a guy to say that he's good enough or not, or if we rate him or not rate him. We've not seen him enough to even really comment on the guy. I don't get to see a lot of B team games because obviously it's not really on TV stuff, and we've obviously got workplaces and other lives that we can't always go to games. So we don't really get a lot of B team action. So I don't know how good the guy is. We've only seen snippets of him for cameo roles, and he's done okay. But again,
Liam Kelly, Shelley.
Liam Kelly. So don't really feel on the guy, JP. But again, it's down to him, Montgomery. If we get any chance of making Celtic this pre-season, will probably be the chance of putting it in the manager's thoughts, or putting them in a place where they can maybe go and chance to get on the bench, or if it's another loan spell to progress further down, who knows. But I think this will be the season where, not just they two, I think in general, JP, I think this will be a season, a pre-season, where there'll be a few guys that could be their last chance to make it Celtic, or get in the manager's thoughts, and then we'll obviously move on to the summer window, see who we can buy if not. But on to Dawson, JP, again, mate, I can't really comment. I think it's maybe down to loyalty and maybe a bit of respect to see how he gets back to his injury. And they also rate him as well, because you want to give somebody a new deal if you didn't think there was something to do with the club, mate. So that's my thoughts on Joey Dawson.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I think he's big, he's physical, he looks strong. Again, it's a shame what happened to the lad. I know he's young and hopefully he's resilient enough to bounce back for that injury. A lot of players can't. A lot of players aren't normally the same player when they get an injury like that. I get comments coming through here saying you're better off with Lorraine Kelly, and Chill Paul says I don't want Kelly, he's not good enough. I think that this is one of those ones that split opinions on. But like I said at the beginning of the show tonight, mate, I think it could be a case of,
I think, see, between the now,
we could sign it, but I don't think it would matter who Celtic sign. And I think fans would just find fault with anyone.
I think between the now and to the start of the pre-season, etc., we are going to be linked to a lot of people. Left backs, strikers, forwards, midfielders, anything. We're going to be linked to a lot of people. So not every link is going to be a plausible link. It might just be.
I don't know if you're wanting to come in here, wee man, because you seem to be taking a stay away a bit too hot for Ryan. You would look like a lobster.
Yeah, James, I actually take a good tan, actually. Well, I'm going to be next week, James. I'll come back. You'll be able to see how tanned I'm, a big man. I know, this maybe just, I don't know.
I don't know if it's just that photo, James, there, but it looks like a tango man. Remember the old tango player? Oh, Johnny! And slap my face and run away. He looks like a tango man.
I think we'll be linked to a lot of people, JP. Obviously, we've had the privilege of talking to some agents and talk to people in the game, and agents put feelers out for players, and people, the press put names out there for other teams to go, oh, right, he's linked with Celtic. Right, we might go after them then. We don't want Celtic.
Yeah, but the thing about this one is, Ange, it's been on like a Scottish media source in PLZ Soccer, so there must be some sort of truth to it. We would only touch that if it's something like that. If it's done, just say for talk's sake, it's a comment on Twitter, then we're not going to, you know, we're not going to listen to that. But that has, it's grew arms and legs a wee bit since yesterday, that one. So that's why we've kind of mentioned it tonight. But nice chai. I know what you're trying to think there. And we're always one on here to advertise that we don't do rumours and stuff, but I think there's a wee bit more to this rumour, if that makes sense, because there's more than one. I think Steve McGowan's mentioned it, hasn't he, Ryan?
Normally when
you see that happening,
when McGowan puts his name to something, it's normally there's some sort of link to it, a substance to it. Well, and what happens or not, who knows? But normally, Steve McGowan's normally a reliable source for information, especially at Celtic. So again, like I say, JP, we were linked to a lot of people. Some of them won't be links that will be true. Some will be agents put feelers out, clubs put feelers out. So, like I say, mate, until the guys, I've kind of made my mind up now, until somebody signs and they're at Celtic Park, get a press conference or they'll be a scarf, I'm not really going to get too much in it until they sign, because the amount of times I've felt for guys signing and no signing, I'd rather just concentrate at the end of the season, then we'll kind of go for there. But I think we'll be linked for a few people, mate, at the end of the season. Yeah,
Blake's come in and says it's looking very likely with players leaving that Celtic will need 2 goalkeepers, a centre-back, a left-back, a central defensive midfielder, and a central attacking midfielder, and a winger, and a striker, and a Partridge and a Pertry as well, Blake. But I'd imagine that's just is that your Christmas list this year, mate? Because you've rhymed off that's... I don't think Michael Barrymore could help you to strike it lucky any more than that, mate. I'm not too sure, mate, but
I think he's right.
I don't see that.
In terms of...
I do think I think he's spot on, but I don't think that's happening. I don't think Celtic's surgery is going to be that massive. I really don't.
Do you know?
2 goalkeepers, a left back, a centre back, a central defensive type midfielder, an attacking, a winger, and a strike. I don't see that being
a winger definitely, goalkeepers definitely, centre back definitely, left back definitely. If one of your big hitters go Hatate or Ailey, you'll need to sign centre mid.
Yeah, no, I get that, but again, the majority of your assets are all in big long contracts, Ryan. So unless you're selling them all, mate, then where's the room to bring all that in?
You'll need to sell some of the guys on the play.
I know when I spoke to you, well, that's it. That's definitely it. I don't think, as I say, to me that's a big long list. I'm not too sure that.
Well, we signed about 12 people in the summer, so it can happen. It can happen. I do feel the goalkeeper, the number one, is going to be a necessity. A left back for me is a necessity. Another centre back's a necessity, because I think Lagerbielke will be away. Stephen Welsh hasn't really been in the squad recently. I can't see Stephen Welsh playing much for Celtic. I think he's just a standby just in case. Nerowski, I'd like to see more of him, but I do feel there will be a bit of surgery needed in this team next year, because as much as you want a double, people might go, you want a double maybe, but every year you need to replenish your squad. You need to replenish every year, because the team that I always look at and realise how much they didn't do, and they should have, was Liverpool. They won the league, and the next season I think they only signed 1 or 2 players, and the team just went stale, and they didn't go and improve, and they didn't go and be better. And I know people go, what can you do better than win the league? But in terms of your standard of team, the players, you need to move forward. And I agree that I don't know how you feel, mate, but I do feel there might be a bit of surgery in the team, maybe more than some fans think. Personally, I think there will be. I think there'll be some.
Yeah, I've seen that before. I've seen fans say it's going to be a big rebuild. Just while we were chatting there, Ryan, I've actually done a wee update on the message here from the partner of the podcast. So John Mulaney's messaged me. He's also told me to let you know about the medals that are up for grabs and the prizes. for the bonus ball, right? So not only were the medals, they're also made for Celtic staff, players. They were made for the VIPs, and there's only a few hundred of them out there. So these things are to be cherished, if that makes sense, even more. There wasn't many of them made, so that just goes to show as well, Ryan, that you know these prizes are they're decent prizes, mate. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
I just get a wee update from him there. He just sent me a message over while we're live. But yeah, in terms of the players coming in and coming out, I mean, we could go on it. That's a different podcast altogether. That man, isn't it? You could do a whole new podcast on that. I think. So, but I'm not silly enough to understand that there is surgery needed. Yeah, and it is. Yeah, it's one of those. It's very decent for £2 a go. That says you've got you've got a 1 in 3 chance to win one of the prizes as well. I think, Ryan, as well, if you were to go and try and buy them singly, mate, I think you would be costing yourself a few quid.
Well, more than £2, mate. So
Definitely, aye.
£2 these days can get you a big bottle of Iron Brew, mate. So it's getting to the stage in the cost of living, mate. So I think say it's quite cheap, mate, compared to a lot of things in life. So,
yeah. Celtic 8's actually put in a wee comment. He said, Matt Ryan coming here from Alkmaar. Wait and see, lads. Wait and see. Yeah, we heard he's doing a cycle for the Celtic Foundation, so he's on his way over from Holland on his bike, apparently. That's probably the only reason why he's coming, I would imagine. Matt Ryan's at the Australian goalkeeper?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not too sure.
I don't know. He's Alkmaar. There you go. I don't know that. Yeah,
he's the Alkmaar. He's the Alkmaar goalkeeper, yeah. I think he signed for them last summer. Because I thought when we signed him, we were after him, sorry. Did he not go to Spain?
I think you're right, aye.
Yeah. I think he went to somewhere in Spain. Was it not somewhere like... Ryan, I want to say something like Sociedad or Sevilla or... I think it was one of the kind of Europe. They played in Europe, I'm sure, when he was there.
I was going to say Espanyol, but I'm probably wrong. But that was the first name it came to me. I'm probably wrong though. I think I'm wrong with that. But I think he did go to Spain.
You could be right. He did go to Spain, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening, Thomas. Hope you're well, pal.
Evening, mate.
Right. So now we're at that bit of the show where we're going to do our best Celtic 11.
See, before we're there, is this including Henrik Larsson, or do you take him out because everybody picks him?
No, it's your 11. So the way I want to do it, though, is both of us, we'll do it together, but we'll start for goalkeeper.
Right.
And we'll work our way, depending on what formation you want to play, right? So we'll start with goalkeeper. So who would be your goalie?
Arthur Boric, mate.
Why?
Arthur Boric was world class, mate. He was absolutely world class, and he probably could have went even bigger than Celtic if, obviously, behind the scenes professionalism and stuff like that. He was world class. JP on his day, he was world class. Some of the saves he made, the game Spartak Moscow, Man United. As much as Fraser Forster was very, very, very good in certain games, especially Barcelona, the final at Hampden. So it's a tough one, but I've always anything like cheers, Thomas.
He said, did you get his money? I think we did, because I've got his name marked in the book.
I'll need to check. I'll check, Thomas. I'll check once we're finished, mate.
I think that's what I'm saying. I think you told me the other night.
I Thomas.
I
got Thomas's. I got it. Sorry.
Welcome back, Ryan.
I'm too busy trying to think. So for me, Boric, mate. I've been asked a few times about this. Who would you pick? For me, Boric just gets the edge, mate. For me, it's hard to pick two to them. But Boric, mate, was world class, mate, and potentially could have went further than Celtic. But for me, I think he was really good, mate, and that's the goalkeeper for me.
Yeah, I'm the same. The reason why he wasn't just an outstanding goalkeeper, he was an absolute loony as well. Anybody that can pick up Neil Lennon and throw him away has got something about them, man. And the fact that he was an amazing penalty saver as well. I don't think he lost many penalties. I really do. I think it's for me. I'm torn between him and Dimitri Karin, but for me, Big Boric kind of gets the edge on that one, right? I just think because Dimitri Karin used to wear trousers, he just doesn't. He doesn't earn it for me. So I know you're laughing.
he thought it was just Sol Coach Speaks, no Celtic Park.
So for me, Boric. So what formation are you playing?
4-4-2, I think.
4-4-2. Right. Well, I'm playing a 4-2-3-1. So this will be interesting, right? So who's your right back?
My right back. Again, I'm only really commenting with this team for the guys that I've really properly seen. So for the O'Neill era to really now.
Oh my God, you're spoiled, boy. I'm telling you.
I think just one through loyalty and two through how I thought how consistent he was. I'm going to go with Mikael Lustig. I think I've said it before in another podcast that was on when I done the Celtic supporters podcast with Dale. I think I've done Lustig. I think Lustig for me it's a hard one because I know he didn't play a lot of football for Celtic. He wasn't here very long. Andy Hinkle I thought was really good, and I think he's always underappreciated. Right. Andy Hinkle. People could obviously mention like Didier Agathe as well, how good he was and doing that side and stuff. But for me, I've got to go with Lustig, JP, just because of my age, and obviously I've been able to see him. I've been seeing him for a long time, Lustig. So I'm going to go with Lustig, mate.
Right. Okay. For me, this is an absolute no-brainer. Chaduri. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only joking.
Paul Telfer.
No, I'm only joking. Didier Agathe. He was just unbelievable. Anybody that can run up to Ronaldinho, slide in, take the ball away, win the ball, get up and sprint away from him and leave him for dead. You've won it for me. Ronaldinho was with that big laugh, that big smile, like as if what's just happened to me there now? Like that's never. I remember the look on his face that night, right? And he's looking all in about and he's gone, where did he come from?
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking to remember Julie, who used to play for Barcelona.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's talking to him and he's going, how did you not tell me he was coming? And he's looking at him and going, I never seen him. He just appeared. So anybody that can do that for me wins it. But Agathe was unbelievable, man. He was unbelievable. He could tackle and he could run and he could just I thought again, a bit like Maeda, his aggression and the way he played the game, he put the fear into players because he knew once he knocked that ball by, he was away.
Mm-hmm.
He was a bit like big backstitch born away. Abada. It was the same with Arthur Newman. When he seen the team sheets, mate, he was kidding on his legs were sore. I don't know what to chase him today. And I thought Peter Lovenkrands was fast. This boy would have left him for dead. Didier Agathe. And see when me signed Agathe, Ryan, he was a centre forward. Agathe was a striker for him.
50k or something?
50 grand.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much Celtic bought him for. And he was absolutely unbelievable. Remember the Ajax game?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When he ran through and frightening. Absolutely frightening. So for me, Didier Agat wins it hands down. I was torn between him and Jackie Mack, but for me, because he's pace and that aggression, for me, Didier Agat wins it. I'm gutted I couldn't fit Paul Telfer in, but obviously I had to go with Didier Agat. So, right, one of two centre backs. Who you going with?
For me, Mialbi. Mialbi was brilliant. He was I don't know if you're sexist now when you say that it's a man's game or he was a man or that type of thing, but he was a proper man. He was a man mountain. He was strong. He was physical. He could play with both his feet. He could tackle. He could header. He was quick. He had a turn of pace, and he was a bit of nasty about him. He was an experienced centre back at a national level. So for me, Mialbi's standout JP. I thought he was brilliant, and he's part of my team, mate.
Daniel Fergus McGrain is his name. What I'll do, folks, I will put up. There's been some comments in Ryan with people's full teams. So obviously, once we're done, I'll put people's teams up and we can have a look at them as well. Yeah, I'm probably going to surprise many here. He was only with Celtic for a season, and I thought he was unbelievable. He's the only guy I've ever saw out jump this other guy I'm going to mention in a second. But in the derby, this big fella used to win most headers, and he used to annoy me watching the derby. And obviously, Mark Gately used to get the best our defenders. And then we signed this big guy, and he just stopped. He just stopped that from happening. He stopped that aerial dominance for Mark Gately. And he could play a wee bit as well. You know, he was a wee bit ahead of his time in that. For me, he could play with the ball at his feet as well. And I really do think this guy deserves a big shout. And I'm going to go with Paul Elliott. I thought he was outstanding for Celtic. He only played with us for a season. But he was as hard as nails, Ryan. He was tough. You know, guys like Roy Aitken and that run about him. And, you know, but he was as hard as nails, Big Paul. And for me, he wins it hands down, mate. In there. Right, your other centre back.
Van Dijk, mate. It's not even a question. Van Dijk probably played at Celtic at 60-50% to what he's playing now, and he was brilliant. JP, he could hit free kicks at school world. He just effortlessly does people out the way. Effortlessly just glided past people. Apparently he smelt nice and all, so that helps the big man as well. But no, I think Van Dijk's a shoe-in for me, mate. I think a lot of Celtic fans, especially maybe the last 10 years at least, Van Dijk's definitely up there. So for me, Mialbi and Van Dijk, mate, especially in this day and age, I think if we had day two, I think the European campaigns would be much better.
Yeah. I've been racking my brain with this one all day, mate, and obviously people think of Virgil van Dijk and stuff like that. There's a couple came to mind, and I don't know whether to throw them in or no. You can maybe give me some of your thoughts on a couple of them. Big Danny Mestorovic.
He was decent. Mm-hmm.
He was good. I'm only joking. I'm not picking Mestorovic for anybody that thinks
he was all right.
He was good. I like Big Danny. It was a good experience. But for me, I mean, I agree with you, Big Virgil. But I was torn between three. So I was torn between Van Dijk, Matt Reaper, and I was torn between Big Bobo.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the fact that he would just cripple Andy. We played a friendly at Celtic Park. It was a Legends game, the Petrov game.
Mm-hmm.
And he kicked Robert Pires that hard that Robert Pires nearly landed in Fir Hill. And I thought to myself, somebody needs to tell him this is a friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's he doing? Like, somebody needs to go and have a chat with him.
You know? I Patrick, when we spoke to him, I think that's what he says. He was just going to go back home
Yeah.
on it, JP.
Kelvin was only, but he actually told me, Ryan, that it was no long after he'd left, he made the wrong decision. He should have stayed because he realised, obviously, when he'd left that it was a wrong move from him, and he should have maybe stayed where he was just for another, maybe even another season, mate. Because he says, who knows what might have happened for me. But he was another one that was very good as well. Listen, I don't want anybody to think, and well, I don't mean to be disrespectful on anybody else that's came. But Big Ram and Vega was very good for us as well. But I don't want anybody to think that, a lot of these guys were good at what they done. But other guys, I'm afraid, for me personally, were standouts over these guys at times. So, yeah, as I say, but no, I remember that one with Perez, and I thought to myself, Big Bobo, man, somebody needs to tell him this is a friendly to calm down a wee bit. He volleyed him that hard. He was no, Patrick. He was an unbelievable waste of space that we ever brought up. I know he had a relative that played with us as well.
I don't think Scott would come on the podcast then, mate.
No, but honestly, mate, he was Ryan. If you'll probably know, be partial to that information, Ryan. But Scott Marshall was a guy that came and played when Rangers won the league at Park Eden on a huddle.
Right.
He was at centre back. He was an ex-Arsenal defender. He was Gordon Marshall's brother. So, Gordon, if you're watching, mate, I'm sorry, but your bro was been playing switch for the boys or something on the bus. He shouldn't even have been near the team. Ryan, honestly, mate, he wouldn't even get a game with the Brownies. I'm telling you, mate, honestly, this guy wouldn't even get a game of FIFA with you in your living room. He could not pass wind. People were running by him. I was actually questioning if he used to play netball, the way he was positioning himself on the field. Go and watch. See if you've got a chance. Go and watch that game. Neil McCann scored 2 against us that day at Celtic Park. And when he scores 2 against you, that's how bad a day you're having. Honestly. But if you, by the way, see what Patrick's put in the comments here, right, about Scott Marshall. See if anybody thinks Celtic were having a bad season this season, go and watch him play football. Ryan, see if you'd have seen Scott Marshall, wee man, you'd have jumped into the River Clyde. Wear a bleach. I'm no kidding on. You'd have jumped in, wear a bleach. He was absolute, mate. He's one of the boys that you'd never pick for the school trials. He wouldn't even get a job. He was your school's Bobby Boucher. He was a water boy. Honestly. People, a big Shane Duffy, that's it, mate. Go and watch him try to play football. Seriously. Go and watch him playing football. He went to pass a ball to Tom Boyd that day. Was it Tom Boyd? That was the day Stephen Mahy got sent off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The game was like the back of 6 at night. A guy fell off the top tier and fell in tappy somebody. Everything that could have went wrong for Celtic that day went wrong for us. And that was the day Hugh Dallas got up with a coin.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then a second later, Lambert slide tackled for Glasgow Cross. And Alberts went down outside the Mega Bar for Motherwell, a distance away from him, and he got a penalty.
And because of what
happened? That was a horrible, horrible day. That day. It's not even that, Patrick. Hugh Dallas walked away with more money after that game than he did walking into Parkhead. Frightening. That was a horrible day. And this is what I'm trying to say, and this is what I've been saying to you boys this season. If you think Celtic were bad this season, go and watch some of this games. Go and watch some of this. You need to go and watch some of these games.
I've seen some of the games of 10 season, mate, so I know what you're saying, mate.
Worse than that. Worse than that. That's Celtic looked like Barcelona that season compared to what I'm talking about. You know? Worse than that, man. Like, seriously. Scott Marshall. Jesus, man. Wow. I've done well to forget that. Seriously. But no, big Van Dijk. Who's your left back, Ryan?
It's got to be Kieran Tierney, JP. And if it was ever possible to get
Tierney?
him back, it's got to be me. He's the best I've seen at the left back for Celtic. As a Gary was at his pomp, was really good. And if he didn't get his injury, he would have been a tremendous left back going forward for us. He was really, really good, JP. As a Gary was really good. What a fine he was. But it's got, I think, any generation Celtic fan of this generation, well, my generation, I think Tierney's got to be the left back. I think he's just got to be JP. The guy's, for me, he's a world class left back. If it wasn't for his injuries, I think he'd probably still be playing at Arsenal, because I think he's Arsenal's best left back, and he's not there. So I think I'll keep that one shot, mate. Kieran Tierney.
I've no went with Tierney because I think that's too obvious. I think that was what a lot of people would pick. I know, Francis, I'm going to try and speed this up a wee bit, don't worry. So for me, I've went to Tosh McKinley.
Mm-hmm.
Tosh was a bit more classy, you know, Tierney was a bit direct. Tosh loved playing with the ball, and Tosh was one of the players. See, boys were knackered. You used to give him a ball, go a wee run me, and take the ball a wee run, keep a hold of it. Wasn't he wasteful with the ball? Used to link plays, crossing was unbelievable. I don't know how many times he set up Jules Cadet that year, but frightening, absolutely frightening. Yeah, Tosh McKinley. Right, so you're playing a 4-4-2. So who's your two central midfielders?
I've had this conversation before with a few people, and it's always hard to pick centre mids because we've had so many. But I try and go through all the generations, the teams, and try and pick one for each if I can, or try and balance.
It can only be who you've seen.
Aye. So for me, the two midfielders have got to be Scott Brown's got to be
right.
Best Celtic captain I've ever seen. Brilliant on the ball as well. Brilliant technically. Doesn't get enough praise for how good he was as a footballer, not just a leader, or if you want to call him a madman, whatever it was. He was just focused. The other one is either Lambert or Petrov. I can't remember who I said on Dell's podcast, if it was Lambert or Petrov. But I'm probably going to go with Lambert because he was world class. JP Lambert was phenomenal. I think he won the European Cup with Dortmund. They went Celtic. That's crazy how you can get a guy. Was he no captain at Dortmund as well?
I think he did captain them. I think it was Andy Moller that was your captain at the time, Ryan.
I'm sure he briefly had a spell where he captained. I might be wrong, but
I think he did, mate. I think he had. I do think he was either vice captain or he was a captain at a couple of their games. Aye.
So for me, Scott Brown and Lambert, mate, I think they two brilliant. You've got the guy that's a big enforcer, he can go and tackle, and then you've got a guy like Lambert who can control it as well. So for me, I'm going to go with the two, mate. Yeah,
too easy for me. Bruni and Paul McStay. I modelled my game on Paul McStay. I tried to. I probably look like Jock McStay right enough when I'm playing right enough, but it's a different story. But I tried to model my game like Paul McStay. I try to teach myself how to pass the ball the way he used to pass the ball. So for me, it's a no-brainer. Paul McStay is the greatest Celtic player I've ever seen, ever. And Scott Brown's the greatest captain I've ever seen. Second to go, what you just said there about him, mate, is unbelievable. So easy one for me. Paul McStay and Scott Brown. Right, so obviously you're playing a 4-4-2. So who's your two wingers?
Alan Thompson, left mid. Got to be phenomenal left peg. He could defend, he could attack, he could tackle, he was strong, he was physical. So for me, Thompson was an all-round left winger. And the fact that he only got one cap for England was ridiculous in my opinion, mate. It was just no great for them. He's probably one of the best left mids in European football at one stage. So for me, Thompson, the right side, was it right side? Did Nakamura play right? Is that right? Am I talking about three here? Nakamura was left.
Yeah, he played over on the right.
Right. But for me, Nakamura.
To be fair, mate, there is a few nights where you do talk at your three, so you could be right there. But
he's got to, for me, Nakamura. Either way, the two wins really doesn't matter whether they play left or right. for me, Nakamura's going to be there. And the reason why I'm picking him over maybe guys like McGeady or guys like that is because he was just a genius, JP. He was just an absolute genius. He could score free kicks, his delivery was one of the best I've ever seen. He might have not ran a lot that maybe we thought, but he was a match winner, JP. He was a genius, and he's the best I've seen doing some of the stuff he done. So for me, it's Alan Thompson, Nakamura.
Yeah. Nice wee comment from Mar Anderson there. He says, evening JP and Ryan. It was really nice meeting you in the farm on Tuesday, JP. Now, for anybody that's wondering what that is, it's not the funny farm for anybody that's ready to type. I can actually see the wee bits moving in some of your heads, thinking about something there. Oh, what am I going to say about that? So it's definitely not the funny farm. It's me and the family were up Walliswell farm and Tuesday for dinner, so yeah, and Mark works. He's I told you about this, Ryan. Obviously, he works up there, so he's it was nice to meet you as well, buddy. Sorry, I was a bit taken back when you shouted on me because I've had fans of the opposite side do that, and they came away with me something stupid. Because it's not like they talk sense at mob, is it? I mean, come on, let's be honest. They've came away with something silly, and it's allowed me a chance to be reserved and just keep your head down. But it was nice meeting you too, buddy. Right, obviously I'm a wee bit. See, I knew somebody was going to. I just knew somebody was going to say a wee thing about the farm, Ryan. Were you milking a cow? I mean, that is garbage, Potter. Absolute garbage, Potter. Honestly, did you get that off a penguin? Did you get that off a penguin wrapper?
I don't think Anne James been picking up jokes for this podcast anyway, it sounds it, mate. Milking cows. I don't know about that one. No.
I've once kicked a giraffe to death though.
And a wee monkey took the head off the motor.
And a wee monkey snapped the wing mirror off my motor and ran away to the west.
Had to be there. What a rough it was, that.
Aye.
Wait, was it Easter Mombasa or?
Aye. When I resided at my retreat in Kenya.
Maybe it was the East Eye, maybe it was the West Eye.
Aye. Was it, you sure there's water there? Was it the East Eye? Well, depends what way you're pointing, actually. Right, obviously I'm playing a 4-2-3-1, so I've got a wee bit more in my midfield there to, my attacking midfielder. Do you know what? This is probably a big shout, actually. I'm going to go for Chris Commons.
Mm-hmm.
Chris's goal return for us was just sensational. Absolutely sensational. And he could thread an iron needle, he's passing. Absolutely. So I'm going to go with Chris Commons. Definitely. My left side of midfield, I'm going to be the same as you. Total wonder left footer, man. I think he's absolutely unbelievable. Alan Thompson. And I felt like a wee boy, see, when we spoke to him. Honestly, I felt as if I was like...
A bag of Jackie Nettles.
I was at the beginning, right? Aye, but then obviously he kind of made it, you know what he's like, Tomo, and like he kind of made it easy to talk to him after that. But at the beginning, I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this, man. Like, don't just, in my head, I was kind of, and if you remember right, mate, I was kind of new to the podcast as well, relatively new when we done that. So I was just kind of in the state of like, don't say anything stupid, don't say anything daft. I'm trying to remember games he played in. I'm going, he scored against them, he scored. Honestly, my head was scrambled. But yeah, Tomo, that's a no-brainer for me because he'd a won the left foot. On the right side, this is where I was troubled because I'm torn between a couple. So I was torn between Nakamura and Di Canio. But again, we only had him for a season. I'm going to say Di Canio. He was just a genius, Ryan. An absolute genius. And again, he was another one that stood up to them at that time when we kind of needed a bit of needle between the teams, and we were always cowering away like from them. Then obviously they were going for 10 in a row, and you know they won 8, they won 9, and then obviously they didn't get 10. But just the way he stood up to them, he used to get right in about them, man, and honestly, he was just a genius, and for him to be a legend and spoke about like a club legend, the way he is, Ryan, I think that's testament to the type of guy he was when he was here. He was so loved by Tommy Burns, and I mean, here's another guy. I mean, I've seen Tommy in his day, and he's another one for me. Just he was all about Celtic, and again, I think he's an obvious one for maybe some fans as well, and that's why I didn't go with Tommy. But so Bruni and McStay are my two sitters, and then I'm going to go with Di Canio, Alan Thompson, and Chris Collins. Who's your two strikers then, right?
I think as much as it's obvious, I think you've got. I know I didn't put it on Dale's podcast because it's so obvious, Larson. But I've got to put him my teammate.
Who's your choice is, mate? It's no whether it's obvious.
You've got to put Larson. He's got to, as much as I didn't why I'm with Dale. I didn't because there was no point in picking him because everybody picks him because they've been just about everybody's a living. But on here, I've got to put him in JP because the guy was just world class striker.
Aye.
The fact they went to Man United, Barcelona, and I was scary, by the way. I don't think people. I was lucky enough to see him live, and for anybody that's never seen Larson live or even really seen him up close and personal, his goals and his record doesn't show you how good that guy was. The guy was unbelievable. His touch and it's just there's words. If you want to put it this way, for a guy at this level, Ed Everton. Absolutely Everton, and then furthermore, Ed Everton. So Larson's got to be. The other striker, mate, it's so hard to pick because of so many. Like, I've got a lot of soft spots for certain strikers. Don't know if it's because I played there up front and then maybe I've got certain soft spots, but for me, Gary Hooper was phenomenal. I loved Edward.
Oh man, I thought you were going to go for Pavel Brozek there or something.
Chris Sutton was amazing with Larson, but I think I'm going to go with probably I pick him all the time, and I still think it was for me. It was very, very good with Celtic. I've got to go with Edward. I loved Hooper. Similar to you with Paul McStay, when I played, cheesy as it sounds, I kind of tried to model my game on Hooper. The way he took the ball and the way he finished and the way it was at the game, I tried to do it with Hooper. But for me, just in terms of that would be a bit of class, I'm going to go with Edward. Maybe in a few years, we might change that to be Kyogo. But right now, I've got to go with just because of what I've seen under Edward, and he could do everything. He could run at people, he could dribble, he could header, he could hold it in, he could score goals. He was a bit of nasty about me as well. So for me, I've got to go with French Eddie, JP.
No, that's a good choice, mate. For me, it's a no-brainer. I think this guy's an absolute standout. And that's why I went with Henri Camara. No, I'm only kidding on him. I'm only joking. It's
no, you forgot an absolute belter as well. Martin Rasmussen.
Remember him, man? My God.
No, that's David Fernandez, your love child.
That's unbelievable. Remember that Barnett, I know? My Big Alan would be proud of that, wouldn't he?
No, I would.
Oh my God. In fact, I think him and Big Alan used to share a barber.
Aye.
But he was Big Rasmussen. Remember that? That's a blast for a past start, man. Jesus, Jody. I know there was people in the comments earlier saying that Badr El Kaddouri was a shout for the left back as well. So
He played in the World Cup final, did he know?
Yeah, he scored against Rangers at Ibrox.
Oh, man.
I think Blake Owen put in earlier on as well. He was going for Olivier Capo for a left-sided midfield as well. So that was quite a big shout as well, by the way. I'm only kidding. Blake never says that. I'm only kidding for everybody else in the comments, in case everybody's... yeah, what a shout that is. Harry Jakanowski.
I didn't see him.
From Harry Shannon. What a name that is.
I didn't see him, Harry.
Jackie Jakanowski. I'm sure he got into trouble with Big Haley. I think he was doing something and caught picking his nose around mine. What a shout that is, Patrick. Big Ads. By the way, Ad's a good friend of ours. He's been on the podcast.
Yeah,
Adam's a great guy, by the way. He's been on the podcast with us and we keep in touch with Adam as well. He's doing a superb job now for...
Yep.
I think he's been Brighton, hasn't he?
He does a lot of commentary, obviously, in France.
Yeah, he does. He works for TNT Sports and that as well. So yeah, but Adam Virgo's a great guy, by the way. Absolute great guy. No, for me, Henrik's here. I know I've said to me, man, we've got the news, the closest thing to him, but I can't no pick Henrik. It's definitely, it's his spot, I'm afraid. I'm sorry to big Chris Sutton and John Hartson and other guys that were absolutely tremendous for us, but no, you having a late night if you're not picking Henrik in your best 11. I'm sorry, but Larsson for me. Now, my dad's probably screaming at the telly right now, shouting, Elizabeth Lions, Elizabeth Lions, Elizabeth Lions. My dad's probably sitting his wee green blazer on it now. Says in the back here, freedom of Celtic Park. Yeah.
JP Lassad.
Honestly. my dad's got Miku posters in his wall. Big Miku, brilliant man. There's another shout, by the way, Mo Camera. Are you trying to build a five-a-side team, Patrick?
Okay.
Unbelievable. Edson Braithwaite, man. What a player he was, man. He wouldn't get a game with on Sebutio.
I want to pick him the champ manager.
And he played at World Cup. Played in the World Cup final.
No.
With Holland. He was picked for the Dutch Dodge. He played in the final. Remember the one De Jong kicked the Spanish boy square right in the chest?
Did he not play that day? Or he phones us up?
One of the boys says to him the night before, he said, what are you doing the night before the game? He said, I was watching Tong Po and Kickboxer. He says, yeah, I just decided to kick one of them there. Know what I mean? But by the way, there's another one I know. My dad's probably got posters of him as well, Zheng Zi.
Yeah, by the way, he wasn't the worst.
He wasn't a bad player, by the way.
No,
he wasn't.
He wasn't
the Amansi Camera, another one. He was another good player, by the way.
He was all right.
He was another good player as well. No, that's only took us the 2.5 hours a night to get through the lineup. I do apologise to my dad, by the way, and he's definitely not got posters of Miku on his walls. I can just in case anybody thinks my dad's got photos of Miku on his wall.
I think I'll need to do Marosi beats your Danny, mate. I think you might need him after that now.
It's no Big Miku, it's on my dad's wall. It's Wally Faulkner and Tommy Coyne.
Wayne Biggins.
Wayne Biggins. Hi, but no, his photos in the middle of my dad's dartboard.
No, that's Wayne Brady.
Hi, double tops, Lou McCarry.
Man. Scott Marshall's the bullseye.
No, Michael Beale's a bullseye.
Michael Beale.
He's full of bull.
And Clement shot 180.
Clement's a commentator.
Alright, brilliant.
When Clement's a commentator. But that's all we've got time for this fine Thursday evening before. By the way, see that's £2 I'm asking you to donate. It's not for us bonus, but it's for my power care. For my power care. I'm disappearing into a black hole here.
So much, to be fair.
Aye. I'll be reporting Nick's here in Mexico. I'll be reporting for a black collar goal cutter in a minute or two, by the way, if we go on this podcast any longer. The first broadcaster for a black collar goal cutter. No, we'll be back on tomorrow, by the way. So don't worry about it. We will be back. Hopefully by that point I'll have been to the Lecky show for a power card. No, the light switch is just it'd be unprofessional for me just to get up and switch a light on in my podcast. I've decided not to do it. Tomorrow night I'll be lit up like Blackpool Pleasure Beach. You'll see Mary Matan tomorrow probably, because I'll have a light on. And Danny's not here. He's missing him. His comments about me looking like a gammon stick. Remember that one?
Oh, brilliant!
What was the night? You apparently you look like a lobster, and that by the way, that was coming for the Tango Man. It says that, no. It's like a homeless guy slagging your curtains on it.
Aye.
Yeah,
and 8:30 tomorrow. Yeah.
We'll be back on the usual time tomorrow night, and yes, no, none of this starting early, throwing people out of sync and all that, you know. I do apologise to anybody that's come on and joined us early tonight and been disappointed you've had to come on early and not had your evening snack.
If we did come on at 8:30, we would be in Blackpool, you know.
No, we come on at 8:30, man. You cheese my fingernails. You'd only just see these wee eyes staring at you through the screen. Honestly. But, whatever you're up to the rest of your evening, I know it's getting a bit late for some, but there you go, James Kennedy, tan out a bottle. Was it a bottle of Jack Daniels by any chance, mate? Some of your patter?
I know what tan it is. It's that fox tan, isn't it, James? Fox tan.
Aye. Hawaii Tropicana 5-0 in a bottle.
Aye, Brian, I got it, mate. I've got it. Cheers. I got it. It's on my PayPal, mate. Come up. Thanks, mate.
Aye, he's just about to transfer it to me in a minute, Brian, to put money in my power card so I can come on and do this right tomorrow.
But your light bulb for JP Wembley.
That'll be the topic. They'll be banning your screen tomorrow. Where do you get a ball for, boys, Wembley? But no, that's what James Kennedy's getting, a wee power card for his sunbed.
Don't let him kid you on, Ian. That's podcast pretty well.
Aye, no problem, Matt. No worries, mate. No worries. When I saw your comment, mate, I thought it was only relevant that I put it up, so not a problem. Listen, guys and girls, and boys and girls. And
it's a V-shaped sunbed we've got in
it. I'd burn the whole off you. But, listen, we'll be back on tomorrow. Take care, stay safe, and always, from ourselves, hail, hail.
Hail, hail.
Hi folks, JP here from the podcast. Just to let you all know that the podcast is sponsored by AB Entertainment, and the AB stands for Mr. Alec Beveridge. It's a DJ and entertainment business. Alex is on Facebook and Instagram, and you can hit him up through the WhatsApp for any bookings on 07845 746 092. And also folks, the podcast has taken on a new partner, and we're partnered by MCM Framing Services and Hoops Memorabilia. If you want any jerseys, or if you've got any memorabilia sitting around you want framed or anything looked after that way, contact John Mullaney, and you can get him at johnmullaney0971 @gmail.com, or contact him on his mobile 07835 072 582. And here at the Unrestricted View, we hope you're all enjoying the content, and if you are, please like and subscribe. It's free to do so, and also share amongst your Celtic family as well. Hail, hail from all of us.
Don't you think that they need the Champions League's money here? I think so. I think they need that.
Well, all right, lads. Guten Tag.